What is the best travel credit card in Canada? Well, it depends. It depends on how often you travel, whether or not you prioritize status, whether or not you fly in business class, and a bunch of other criteria too. Now, I've been leveraging credit cards and loyalty programs to travel the world in style for the last 9 years or so, and in this video, we're going to do a tier list ranking of Canadian travel credit cards to help you decide which one's the best for your wallet. Welcome to Prince of Travel, we're the leading platform empowering every global citizen to go further better, and let's get started. Now, in this tier list video, we're going to be using the classic rankings, so S, A, B, C, D, and F. F will be cards to avoid, D will be cards with better alternatives, C will be decent cards that can work for specific situations, B will be solid cards with good value propositions, A will be excellent cards with standout features, and S will be exceptional cards with outsized value. Now in this ranking, earning rates and points value, we're going to weigh heavily into the rankings in each tier. We're going to be less focused on welcome bonuses, which come and go, and more focused on ongoing value that you can get from your credit cards. So for each points program, we're going to talk about the standout features for each credit card, as well as how much we at Prince of Travel value each type of points, and then come up with a ranking for each card. Now, of course, this isn't going to be an exhaustive list of every single travel credit card in Canada, but rather it's a subjective ranking of the most popular credit cards in Canada for travel, based on my opinion. Now, I love a good constructive conversation, so if you have any disagreements with me, or if you think I missed any cards, feel free to leave a comment in the section below, and also let me know what you think of my new studio. And without further ado, let's get started with this tier list ranking. Let's start this list with BMO rewards. Now, BMO rewards are worth at most 0.67 cents per point, and that figure is going to weigh heavily on our rankings. Now, on the plus side, you can book travel with any vendor and redeem your BMO rewards points against it, and you're not forced to book through a particular portal. However, because BMO rewards points have a low baseline value, it's going to skew my ranking on this tier list of the credit cards because most banks use a baseline value of 1 cent per point for fixed value points currencies. So the BMO Eclipse Visa Infinite card. This is a popular credit card for a lot of people because it earns 5 BMO rewards points per dollar spent on dining, groceries, gas, and transit. And it earns 1 BMO rewards point per dollar spent on all other purchases. But there are two things to keep in mind. One is that BMO puts a spending cap on some of the most popular categories. So you're only going to earn 5 points per dollar spent on up to $6,000 spent on dining and groceries each year, and $20,000 for gas and transit. And if you recall, BMO rewards points are only worth 0.67 cents per point. So in my opinion, this isn't really a true 5x earning card, and rather you can think of it as a 3.35% return on spending instead. Now, there's a $50 annual lifestyle credit that helps offset the card's $120 annual fee, but I'm going to rank this card as a D. Now, a very similar card to this is the BMO Ascend World Elite Mastercard, which earns 5 BMO rewards points per dollar spent on travel, 3 BMO rewards points per dollar spent on dining, entertainment, and recurring bills, and 1 point per dollar on everything else. Now again, the 0.67 cent per point valuation of BMO rewards points factors in, and it's not really a true 5x card. So even though the card offers 4 complimentary lounge visits each year and has strong travel insurance, I'm also going to rank this one as a D. Now the BMO Eclipse Rise Visa card is a no annual fee credit card that also earns 5 BMO rewards points, but it's per $2 spent on the specific categories. Now the BMO Eclipse Rise Visa card has no annual fee and a really low baseline earning rate, so I'm going to put this one in the D or even the F category. Now, one of the top tier cards in the BMO rewards lineup is the BMO Eclipse Visa Infinite Privilege card. Now, this card earns 5 BMO rewards points per dollar spent on travel, dining, groceries, gas, and drugstores, and 1 BMO rewards point per dollar spent on everything else. Now, if you pay $99 to add a supplementary card holder to your account, you'll get a 25% boost on your earning rates, which works out to a 4.19% return on the 5x category. And that's pretty good. Now, the card also comes with 6 complimentary lounge visits and a $200 annual lifestyle credit, and those help to offset the card's annual fee. So with all of the above in mind, I'd actually say that this card is the strongest in the BMO rewards lineup, and I'm going to rank it as a D or maybe even a C. Now, we'll stay in the BMO ecosystem, but we'll turn our attention to Air Miles. Now, we at Prince of Travel value Air Miles at 10.2 cents per mile, and I gotta say, ever since BMO took over Air Miles in early 2023, it's been breathing a lot of life back into the program, and it's a lot more interesting than it used to be. Now, Air Miles is a super popular program with a lot of Canadians, but in my opinion, it remains a fixed value points program that doesn't offer the opportunity to get outsized value like many other programs. Now, the BMO Air Miles Mastercard earns 3 Air Miles per $25 spent at Air Miles partners, 2 Air Miles per $25 spent at grocery stores, wholesale clubs, and alcohol retailers, and 1 Air Mile per $25 spent on all other eligible purchases. Now, the second category is actually where it gets interesting because BMO is the only credit card issuer in Canada that has a category multiplier for wholesale clubs like Costco, and so I gotta give BMO credit for that. But if we're thinking about opportunities to get outsized value, I'm gonna rank this card as a D or maybe even an F. Now, bumping up a notch to the BMO Air Miles World Elite Mastercard, it gets a little bit more interesting. It's got a much better earning rate than its no-fee partner, at 3 air miles per $12 spent at eligible air miles partners, 2 air miles per $12 spent at grocery stores, wholesale clubs like Costco and alcohol retailers, and 1 air mile per $12 spent on all other purchases. That's a pretty decent return on spending in some categories, plus you'll get Air Miles Onyx status, and you'll get 25% off an Air Miles flight redemption every year. Now, if you're stoked about Air Miles, you should probably have this card in your wallet, especially with some of the great welcome bonuses we've seen lately, which is why I'm going to rank this card as a C. Now I'm going to turn my attention to 2 popular 5x earning cards, with the first one being the MBNA Rewards World Elite Mastercard. Now, MBNA rewards are worth at most 1 cent per point, and that's only if you book through the MBNA Rewards travel portal. Otherwise, you'll get a value of 0.83 cents per point if you book directly with vendors. Now, with this card, you'll earn 5 MBNA rewards points per dollar spent on eligible restaurants, groceries, digital media membership, and utility purchases, and 1 point per dollar on everything else. Now, there's a $50,000 spending cap in each category, which is great news if you're able to max it out. Plus, you'll get a birthday bonus of 10% of the points earned over the course of the year, up to a total of 15,000 points, which is a nice feature to have. Now, this card also comes with pretty strong travel insurance, which is why I'm going to rank it in the B category. Now, a very similar card to this is the National Bank World Elite Mastercard, which earns National Bank a la carte rewards points, which are worth 1 cent per point if you book through the bank's travel portal, or they're worth less if you book directly with travel vendors at 0.91 or 0.83 cents per point, depending on how many points you redeem. Now, with this card, you'll earn 5 points per dollar spent on groceries and restaurants, 2 points per dollar spent on gas, electric vehicle charging, recurring bill payments, and travel booked through a la carte rewards, and 1 point per dollar spent everywhere else. But the 5x multiplier only counts on up to $2,500 worth of spending at the absolute maximum, which is one of the downsides to the card. Now, this card has an annual fee of $150, but it also comes with a $150 annual travel credit, which essentially just wipes the card's annual fee every year, and it comes with unlimited lounge access to the National Bank Lounge in Montreal. But the real reason why you should be considering this card is that it has the strongest insurance on any credit card in Canada, and it covers travel booked with points. So as long as you pay the taxes and fees on a booking from any loyalty program with this credit card, you know you'll be covered with really strong travel insurance. Now, in my opinion, this is an excellent card to hold on to year after year, and I'm actually going to give it an A. Now, sticking with fixed value points programs, but this time moving over to CIBC Aventura. Now, at Prince of Travel, we value CIBC Aventura points at 1 cent per point, but there are ways to get outsized value from your points. And that's if you redeem Aventura points through the CIBC Airline rewards chart, which allows you to get up to 2.29 cents per point worth of value, or in some cases, 2.5 cents per point. Now, since you can get outsized value from Aventura points, we recommend redeeming them as often as possible using the Airline rewards chart, but they're still a really useful points currency to have to offset the cost of other travel expenses. Now, the CIBC Aventura Visa Infinite card has okay earning rates, earning 2 Aventura points per dollar spent on travel booked through the CIBC Rewards Center, 1.5 Aventura points per dollar spent on gas, groceries, EV charging, and drugstores, and 1 Aventura point per dollar spent on everywhere else. So depending on how you redeem Aventura points, you're looking at a 1 to 2% return or more if you redeem them for outsized value. Now, uniquely for a Visa Infinite product, this card offers 4 lounge visits every year, and you also get a partial Nexus application fee rebate every 4 years. Now, I think this is a solid card for a lot of people, and I'm going to rank it in the B category. Now, the CIBC Aventura Gold Visa card is almost a carbon copy of the CIBC Aventura Visa Infinite card, just with the lower minimum income requirement and slightly less insurance coverage. So I'm going to give it a B too. Now, the top tier card in the Aventura lineup, the CIBC Aventura Visa Infinite Privilege card, comes with a $499 annual fee, which may be intimidating at first. Now, this card has a slightly better earning structure than the CIBC Aventura Visa Infinite card, plus it comes with a $200 annual travel credit, 6 complimentary lounge visits each year, 2 partial Nexus application fee rebates every 4 years, and pretty strong insurance. And it's the only way that you can redeem CIBC Aventura points for business class, getting value of up to 2.5 cents per point, and I'm going to give this card a B as well. Now, sticking with fixed value points programs, but moving over to TD Rewards, we're going to look at the TD First Class Travel Visa Infinite card. Now, we value TD Rewards points at 0.5 cents per point, which is the value that you can get if you redeem your points through the Expedia for TD travel portal. Now, this card has a pretty solid earning rate of between 1 and 4%. The points are pretty flexible, and the welcome offers on this card tend to be quite strong too. Now, later on in 2025, this card is also going to come with 4 complimentary lounge visits, which is a great improvement. Now, I've used this card over the years, and I think it's pretty great. rate, and I'm also going to give it a B. Now, there are two other credit cards in the TD Rewards lineup, the TD Platinum Visa card and the TD Rewards Visa card. Now, the TD Platinum Travel Visa card is a good alternative to the first class card, and that's because it has pretty solid earning rates, no minimum income requirement, and an $89 annual fee. I'm going to give this card a C, and the TD Rewards Visa card is actually a great no-fee travel rewards card, and I'm also going to give it a C. All right, now let's move over to the Scotiabank ecosystem, and we're going to talk about cards that earn Scene Plus points. Now, I like Scene Plus points because they're really easy to use and they're pretty easy to earn too. I like that you can get the maximum value of 1 cent per point for travel booked with any vendor, and you have up to 12 months after your purchase to redeem your points against the cost. Now, the downside to this program is that there aren't any opportunities for outsized value, but I consider it to be a great secondary points currency to earn to help offset the cost of other travel expenses. Now, in Scotiabank's Scene Plus lineup, there are two credit cards that have no annual fees, the Scotiabank American Express card and the Scotiabank Scene Plus Visa card. Now, both have solid earning rates for a no-fee card. You can get up to a 4% return on your spend, and they come with pretty alright welcome bonuses and high spending caps. Now, of the two, my choice would be the Scotiabank American Express card, and that's because it's a no-fee card that gives you access to Amex offers. Now, there are often really valuable Amex offers for travel, including with airlines and hotels, and it's a great no-fee card to have in your lineup to access these Amex offers. And this might come as a bit of a surprise, but I'm going to give this card a B and the Visa card a C. Now, in my opinion, the Scotiabank Gold American Express card is an underappreciated credit card here in Canada. It has excellent earning rates, offering up to 16 plus points per dollar spent on your spending, which equates to a 6% return. It's got a reasonable $120 annual fee, a low minimum income requirement, which means that it's accessible to a lot of people, and it has no foreign transaction fees, which is great if you want to use it outside the country. Now, if I could, I'd give this card a B+ because it earns fixed value points instead of transferable points, but I'm actually going to slide this card into the A category because I think it gives you outsized value year after year. Now, the top tier card in the Scotiabank lineup is the Scotiabank Platinum American Express card, which has a $399 annual fee. It's got a solid baseline earning rate of 2 Scene Plus points per dollar spent on everything. It comes with 10 Priority Pass lounge visits each year, and it's got pretty strong insurance. Now, with all of these in mind, I think there are other cards out there that offer better outsized value, so I was teetering between B and C, but let's put this card in C. Now, also in Scotiabank's Scene Plus ecosystem are the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite card and the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite Privilege card, which is a pretty new card in the Canadian lineup. Now, of all of the credit card issuers in Canada, Scotiabank is the one that offers the most cards with no foreign transaction fees, and the Passport cards are the flagship ones in their lineup. And in fact, the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite card is one of the credit cards that we recommend for every Canadian traveler, and that's because it has a pretty decent earning rate, but the earning rate also applies on purchases made outside of Canada. As I said, it has no foreign transaction fees, and for these reasons, I'm going to give this card an A because I think it provides value year after year, especially if you spend lots of time outside of the country. Now, the Scotiabank Passport Visa Infinite Privilege card, which is a top tier card with a $599 annual fee. Now, in my opinion, it's a pretty strong credit card with no foreign transaction fees. It's got pretty strong earning rates of up to 3 Scene Plus points per dollar spent, 10 lounge visits per year included with the card, and a $250 annual travel credit. Now, I'm going to put this one in the B tier just because Scene Plus points aren't quite as flexible or powerful as other points in Canada. Now, we've talked a lot about fixed value points currencies. Now we're going to switch things up a bit and look at all of the airline co-branded credit cards in Canada. Now, we as Canadians are really fortunate because we have access to the most Aeroplan co-branded credit cards in the world. And there are options from CIBC, TD, and American Express. If you want to learn about all of the different ins and outs of the Aeroplan co-branded credit cards in Canada, we've got an excellent guide on the Prince of Travel website, and you can find it in the description below. Now, Aeroplan is one of the best loyalty programs in the world, and I'm probably going to rank a lot of these Aeroplan co-branded credit cards higher than their counterparts that earn fixed value points. Now, the CIBC Aeroplan Visa card is the only Aeroplan card with no annual fee, which is a great introduction to the program. Let's give this one a C. Now, the TD Aeroplan Visa Platinum card has an $89 annual fee, which is usually waived in the first year as part of the welcome offer. Now, it's pretty similar to its CIBC counterpart, but tends to come with a higher welcome bonus. And with all that in mind, I'm going to give this one a C too. Now, moving into the middle tier of the Aeroplan co-branded credit cards, we have the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card, the CIBC Aeroplan Visa Infinite card, and the American Express Aeroplan card. Now, personally, I've had the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card for about 8 or 9 years, and I think it's an excellent credit card and one that every Canadian traveler should have, especially if you fly frequently with Air Canada. Now, the TD and the CIBC cards in this tier are pretty similar, and I'm probably going to give them a B. Now, the only major difference with the American Express Aeroplan card is that it's a charge card and not a credit card, and it earns 2 points per dollar spent on Air Canada purchases, whereas the other two cards in this tier earn 1.5 points per dollar spent with Air Canada. And so we're probably going to give this card a B too. Now moving into the top tier of the Aeroplan co-branded credit cards, we have the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite Privilege Card, the CIBC Aeroplan Visa Infinite Privilege Card, and the American Express Aeroplan Reserve Card. Now all three of these credit cards command a high annual fee of $599, but if you ask me, these cards are jam-packed with features, especially if you're a frequent flyer with Air Canada, and I think it totally justifies the annual fee. Now on all three cards, we're looking at unlimited Maple Leaf Lounge access in Canada and the States, status qualifying mile rollover benefits, extended e-upgrade availability, and the list goes on. Now the TD and the CIBC cards in this tier are fairly similar, and I'm going to put them in the A category, but I'm actually going to put the American Express Aeroplan Reserve card in the S category, the first one on this tier list so far, and that's because it doesn't have the high minimum income requirement that the other two cards have. Plus, since it's an American Express card, you can earn more points by referring your friends and family to it, which I think is an excellent feature. Now NEO issues the Cathay World Elite Mastercard powered by NEO, which is its official name, but in my opinion, this card doesn't really offer many unique benefits aside from the welcome bonus and a discount on cash flights with Cathay Pacific. And in fact, I don't think this is a very interesting card, and really, aside from padding your Asia miles balance, I don't think this card really offers much else at all, and I'm going to give it a D. Now let's talk about the Air France KLM World Elite Mastercard, which is issued by Brim Financial. Now for some reason, this card often comes without a welcome bonus in the form of points, which I find a bit bizarre. Now one thing I really like about the Flying Blue program is that Air France and KLM fly to tons of cities across the country, including Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal, and Quebec City. Now personally, I've been racking up Flying Blue miles by using this card at Costco for the last couple of years, and it comes with some pretty neat features if you fly with Air France and KLM, so I'm leaning towards a C ranking for this card. So now let's shift our focus to one of the more popular travel rewards credit cards in Canada, and that's the WestJet RBC World Elite Mastercard. Now I know a ton of people that use this credit card, and they're often surprised when I say that I don't really think it's a good credit card to put a lot of daily spending on. Now on the plus side, this card comes with an annual companion pass, and if you redeem it strategically for flights during peak travel periods that have high base fares, or if you redeem it for flights in WestJet's premium cabin, I think the companion pass can be a pretty awesome benefit. Now, if you fly often with WestJet, you can probably get outsized value from this credit card year after year, but personally, this is a credit card that I keep around for the companion pass and the free check bag on WestJet flights, but I don't put any spending on it. So in my case, I'm probably teetering between a B and a C for this card, but I'm feeling generous today, so let's land on a B. Now, RBC issues the RBC British Airways Visa Infinite card, and in some niche cases, I think that this card can offer pretty awesome value. And that's because if you spend $30,000 on the card every year, you'll get what's called a Companion Award e-voucher, which either takes 50% of the Avios away from a British Airways redemption flight for one, or it offers a 2-for-1 pass if you're redeeming Avios for 2. Now this card recently got a makeover. It has some pretty decent earning rates. Avios are a super valuable points program to use in my opinion, but it's always better to earn transferable points rather than points that go into any specific program. So if I could, I'd probably land somewhere between a B and a C for this card, but I'm probably going to land on a B this time because it tends to have pretty strong welcome offers available too. Now the newest credit cards in Canada, in my opinion, some of the more exciting credit cards available are the pair of VIPorter credit cards issued by BMO. Now these cards are the only ones in Canada that grant cardholders with automatic elite status just by being a cardholder, which I think is a super valuable feature, especially if you travel a lot with Porter Airlines, which is becoming a lot easier because the airline is expanding their fleet and their network across Canada and the United States, and probably beyond in the near future too. Now, in terms of the BMO VIPorter World Elite Mastercard, this might be a bit of a controversial take, but I'm going to give it an A ranking. I've got one in the mail coming to my house right now, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm going to give its little cousin, the BMO VIPorter Mastercard, a ranking of B, because I think it offers outsized value in exchange for the annual fee. Now, jumping over to the hotel ecosystem really quickly here, American Express issues the Marriott Bonvoy American Express card and the Marriott Bonvoy Business American Express card. Now, similar to what I was saying about the RBC WestJet World Elite Mastercard, these are cards that I don't tend to put a lot of spending on, except for when I'm paying for Marriott hotels in Canada, because the earning rate is actually pretty good. And rather, I keep these cards around every year for the annual free night award worth 35,000 points, which I've been pretty good at redeeming for outsized value year after year, which helps to justify paying the card's annual fees. Now, these two credit cards are ones that I recommend to a lot of my friends and family, mainly because they provide outsized value year after year, and so I'm probably going to land on a B ranking for both of them. All right, everyone, we've got 2 points programs left to talk about, and that's RBC Avion Rewards and American Express Membership Rewards, which of course are the most powerful and valuable points currencies that you can collect here in Canada. Now, beginning in the RBC ecosystem, one of my favorite credit cards that I've come across in the last couple of years is the RBC ION Plus Visa. Now, this card earns 3 RBC Avion premium points per dollar spent on many common common categories. And in fact, if you're looking to collect WestJet dollars, which are soon to become WestJet points, this is the best card to rack up WestJet points. Now, by itself, this card isn't super powerful, and I'd probably give it a B ranking or a C ranking. But if you combine it with the RBC Avion Visa Infinite card, for example, I'd give it a much higher ranking as a duo, which we're going to explore in a bit here. Now, speaking of the RBC Avion cards, we have three. There's the RBC Avion Visa Infinite, which is a mid-tier card, the RBC Avion Visa Platinum, which is a lower-tier card, and the RBC Avion Visa Infinite Privilege, which is a top-tier card. Now, for the RBC Avion Visa Platinum and the RBC Avion Visa Infinite, the cards earn super flexible points. And that's because you can transfer them to the British Airways Club or Cathay Pacific Asia Miles at a 1-to-1 ratio. You can transfer them to American Airlines Advantage at a 1 to 0.7 ratio, or you can transfer them to WestJet dollars, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because there's more value to be found in other loyalty programs. Plus, you can redeem RBC Avion Elite points for travel booked through the RBC Air Travel Redemption Schedule, which offers outsized value similar to the CIBC Aventura Airline Rewards chart. And for all of these reasons, we love RBC Avion points here at Prince of Travel. Now, the downside with the RBC Avion Visa Platinum and the RBC Avion Visa Infinite is that the earning rates on the cards are actually pretty low. But because these cards earn some of the best points available in Canada, even though they have low baseline earning rates, I'm going to rank both the RBC Avion Visa Platinum and the RBC Avion Visa Infinite as a B category by themselves, but hold on to that thought for now. Now, the RBC Avion Visa Infinite Privilege card is a great credit card, and that's because it has an excellent baseline earning rate of 1.25 Avion points per dollar spent. Now, here at Prince of Travel, we value RBC Avion points at 2 cents per point. So really, you're looking at a higher baseline earning rate. Plus, if you transfer your points out to other airline partners, you can squeeze much more value out of them. And if you have this card, you can also redeem your points for business class flights using the RBC Air Travel Redemption Schedule. Now, this is a pretty top tier card, and I'm having difficulties choosing between a B and an A, but I'm going to side with an A on this card because it has excellent opportunities to score outsized value. But here's the thing. If you have both an RBC ION Plus Visa and any of the 3 RBC Avion Visas, you'll wind up with what I like to call the optimized RBC credit card portfolio. And that's because you can earn RBC Avion points at an accelerated rate using the ION Plus Visa, but since you also have an Avion credit card that has the more powerful Avion Elite points, you can instantly transfer your RBC Avion Premium points from the RBC ION Plus Visa into Avion Elite points, which you can then redeem for outsized value. And so if you take any of the 3 RBC Avion cards and you pair it with the RBC ION Plus Visa, I'm going to move that right on up to the S category. Now, last but not least, the moment you've all been waiting for, let's now talk about credit cards that earn the valuable American Express membership rewards points. Now, we at Prince of Travel love American Express membership rewards points. We value them at 2.2 cents per point. You can transfer them to 6 different airline partners. You can transfer them to 2 different hotel partners. You can redeem them for outsized value through the fixed point travel program, or if you really want to, you can redeem them for 1 cent per point against any purchase made on your card, making them the most powerful and flexible points that you can possibly earn in Canada. Now, the American Express Gold Rewards card has a pretty solid earning rate of up to 2 American Express membership rewards points per dollar spent. It's got a $100 annual travel credit, 4 Plaza Premium Lounge visits each year, all for an annual fee of $250. Now, in my opinion, this isn't the most supercharged travel rewards credit card in the American Express lineup, and I'm going to give it a B. Now, moving on up to the American Express Platinum card, this is a top tier credit card with a $799 annual fee. It has a baseline earning rate of 1 membership rewards point per dollar spent, or you can earn 2 membership rewards points per dollar spent on some other things. But this card comes packed with features for frequent travelers, including unlimited lounge access at thousands of lounges across the world, Gold Elite status with Marriott Bonvoy, Gold Elite status with Hilton Honors, a $200 annual travel credit, a $200 annual dining credit, some pretty strong travel insurance, and access to American Express fine hotels and resorts. Now, because this credit card earns some of the best points around, it has all of these features for frequent travelers, and it tends to come with really juicy welcome bonuses, I'm going to put it smack dab in the A category. Now, if you're a small business owner, you've probably also heard about the Business Platinum card from American Express, which in my opinion is one of the best credit cards for business owners, and that's because it has a strong baseline earning rate of 1.25 American Express membership rewards points per dollar spent on everything. Now, if you spend a ton of money on this card, that extra 0.25 points per dollar spent on everything is really going to add up over the course of the year. Plus, you get a $200 annual travel credit And if you refer a friend to any of the credit cards in the American Express membership rewards family, you're going to earn 20,000 points per referral, up to 225,000 extra points per year. Now, just like the personal platinum card, I'm going to rank the business platinum card also in the A tier. And if you want us to do a tier list video covering other credit cards like business credit cards or cashback credit cards, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Now, there's one more credit card left to rank in this tier list video, and of course, that's the most powerful travel rewards credit card in Canada, the American Express Cobalt card. Now again, this is a credit card that I've had for years. I've referred dozens of friends and family members to this credit card, and I can't say enough about it. And that's because it earns 5 American Express membership rewards points per dollar spent on dining, groceries, and drinks, 3 membership rewards points per dollar spent on streaming services, 2 membership rewards points per dollar spent on gas, transit, and rideshare, and 1 membership rewards point per dollar spent on everything else. Now, even though there's a spending cap of $2,500 per month on the 5X category, it's pretty generous, and if you find yourself maxing it out, just be sure to add another Cobalt card to your household to make sure that you're earning 5 points per dollar spent on some of the most common expenses for Canadians. And again, here at Prince of Travel, this is one of the credit cards that we recommend for every Canadian traveler because it provides outsized value year after year, and all of this for a low monthly fee of $12.99. This is one of the best credit cards in Canada, and of course, you can imagine where it's going. I'm ranking it in the S tier. So there you have it. It's a sneak peek into my brain here in my new studio with the 2025 Canadian Travel Rewards credit card tier list rankings. Now, in this video, I provided you with my thoughts on some of the best and some of the less interesting travel rewards credit cards in Canada, and I'm keen to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And now that I'm set up in my new studio, I'm keen to record lots more content. So if there's anything that you want to see, let me know and I'll see you there.